Did you just want to go ahead and give the release to Steve on air today for the softball team, or do you want to wait and do that in person?
I am here.
I think a team, Steve, if you just quiet down right now.
I can hear the conversation you guys are having.
Steve, if you could quiet down, we're trying to have a conversation.
Oh, sorry.
I think that's a good idea that we bring this to the team and have us all address him personally. Maybe we could write letters, like the opposite of an intervention. We want him to go away.
You just feel lucky that you're not advertising with us because you know that
which is a punishment now, by the way. The way you just phrased that. Be lucky you're not advertising with us. Like it's...
Yeah.
This is something that we ask you to pass along to other people. And
they have
again,
97 episodes.
And like the third bulletin point this week is cheddar cheeses by state.
Yeah.
Just consider that, and consider the type of friendship you want to keep when you're pawning this episode off on a...
Man, I love that piano. Haven't talked about it in a while, but boy, do I like that piano.
You know, we kind of stopped talking about it when we realized...
That was how we started, like, 45 episodes in a row, probably, talking about how much we love the piano.
Yeah, it probably didn't help, but that also, we think Kevin MacLeod hates us.
Yeah, he's still one of our few Twitter, he's one of the few people that we follow.
Didn't we give him the heave-ho?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to check.
Now, for a newer listener, if you don't recognize those ivories being danced upon by the dainty fingers of none other than Kevin MacLeod.
Yeah, he's gone. We gave him the boot.
Mm-hmm. So this is a guy that we didn't have any music, and now this is harder to find now, Steve, because we talked about it last week. Apparently, iTunes limits the number of podcasts that can be in your directory. So every new one we release, an older one goes away. Goes bye-bye on Apple Podcasts.
There's you get 100. Yeah. The most recent 100. So we have... This is our 98th episode, which is weird. I never kept track of them. I always knew what we were on because in the description, I would always put that in there just because you needed to put something in there. And I never really cared. And I remember on our first episode saying, I don't care. I'm not concerned about episode numbers. I feel like every podcast you listen to, they're like, it's episode 2494. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter to me at all. But now, as we're slowly creeping towards triple digits, I find myself getting more and more excited about it.
Well, they'd only been subtitled, and it's not like we still sit down, record, and you go, hey, welcome, it's episode 90 whatever this week. No, we just say the date, and we move along. But you're right, 100 is going to be a big deal in 2 weeks, and we have a lot planned.
All of the guests that we have planned to ask if they would be on the show, and then they will say no.
We've got all the guests that you remember from the first 100 episodes of this show. All like the one time we called Chris.
Actually, I think Chris has been on like twice.
It was like last week.
Yeah.
We called my brother once.
Boy, we're really...
Yeah. We called Annette. Want to get her back on the show? Yeah, we had to ask her. I think we asked her some stuff. Yeah.
You know what we should do for the 100th episode? It should be a switcheroo episode where our significant others host in our place, but they don't reference that they're not Steve and Kyle.
Right. They sit down. We will do the music, whatever, for it. Mm-hmm. They'll say, you know, it is the Steve and Kyle podcast, and it is Sunday, June 10th. Mm-hmm.
By the way,
June 17th.
Sunday, June 3rd, 2018, the year of our Lord, 2:20 p.m. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. Please, where you are.
That's what you would hear in a female voice, and obviously not as polished. You know, where you got two radio voices here.
That's right.
Voices meant for the microphone.
Yeah.
Trained. Paid money to be trained for the microphone, Steve.
How many years you got behind you?
Trained at a university level, Steve, for upwards of 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I got 15.
And then you have school for 15 years.
Well, I've worked in the biz.
Oh, sure.
Worked in the biz for 15. You count the other, I don't know, like 2.5 at school.
Right.
Yeah. 17 and a half years plus year 5 is 22 and a half years.
No, it's been more than that. I interned in January 2010.
We'll say 50 years of experience.
50. We round here at the Steve and Kyle podcast, and we round up.
Yeah, we round up to 50s.
That's got to be on the billboard.
We round up to 50?
Something like upwards of 50 years of broadcasting with an asterisk.
Yeah.
And it says, we round up. It's actually like 20 or whatever.
Tangent, by the way, we need that billboard, and we also need it's T o'clock somewhere billboard.
Maybe.
So if you could, whoever designs those billboards, if you could do the normal layout, then with a little coffee mug in the foreground that says it's T o'clock somewhere, possibly with a scone sitting next to it.
I think, and here's what I like. I like the entirety of the billboard being, having like a teacup in the center.
Oh, so you're
a scone
thinking
to the center, but it's like you see the string with the tea bag into the mug, and it's our faces with our logo on it, and then the headline of the billboard is it's T o'clock somewhere, and then it's our logos, the Steve and Kyle podcast, on the coffee mug.
Yeah.
But how do we get 10 speeds in there?
Boy, it might have to be a series of billboards.
Yeah. Again, the budget keeps increasing. Before we get to any of that, need to get back. So if you're not familiar, Steve found in the royalty-free catalog of music, you found the winner that has been our intro music for 90 some episodes at this point.
No, I don't think we started using that until we were like 20 some episodes in.
That late? So we were just doing silence?
No, we did that stupid thing where we sung Style.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that either. We should bring that. Let's bring that back for episode 100.
Barf.
Episode 100, Living in Style with Steve and Kyle.
That was one of the proposed titles.
Yeah, it was one of the workshopped titles that we were talking about early on.
Not seriously.
So we had a bit of a campaign for a couple of months trying to get Kevin MacLeod.
Style.
Oh, yeah.
Steve and Kyle.
Living in Style.
Steve and Kyle.
Steve.
Kyle.
Living in Style.
Ugh.
But somebody remixed that for us with like an electronica mix.
Yeah,
it was tremendous.
I gotta see if I actually just deleted that from my iTunes.
Why would you delete
yesterday?
That? Was it showing up on shuffle? Like you'd be out for a jog, and all of a sudden, Style, Living in Style would play.
It was like an EDM mix,
and you would no doubt pick up the pace by a couple miles per hour during that 8-second song because you were so amped.
Yeah. Let me see if I have it here.
So the trials and tribulations of our early intro music, and again, these are all going the way of the dodo, Steve. Yeah. All these episodes sadly going away. I think you can still find them. If you go to Libsyn,
if you go to Libsyn, just go to steveandkyle.com.
Yeah. It'll direct you to the podcast directory where it will have all of them if you want to listen to those old ones, or if you want to pass on the old ones to people who you think May would like. Yep. Let me try that one more time.
You think May would like.
Yep. If you think May would possibly like this podcast, that would be great if you want to do that. So, Steve, you found what is now known as our intro music, but in the internet world is referred to as Malt Shop Bop.
Yeah. Fantastic little ditty.
And so we started the campaign to get Kevin MacLeod not to initially not like come on the podcast, just to respond to us on Twitter. And then this is back when we were small fish, Steve, in a big pond.
I think it's small potatoes is the
small fish, big pond. Would that apply here? Little fish, big pond.
Little fish, big pond.
Would that apply?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and he refused to. And we pled with him on social media to respond to us. Then eventually we wanted to talk to him and ask about the breakup of his band. He was the one-time front man of Kevin and the MacLeods.
Yes.
And we have theorized that if you listen to Kevin MacLeod's music, you can track the history of the MacLeods based on how they go to depressing music.
Sure.
And then he has some winners.
It's like the Beatles, where if you listen to a song, it says like Paul is dead. Same thing with Kevin and the MacLeods. Yeah. It explains why people left the band.
He's got like 3 months where the only music he released was called Cloudy Day After My Wife Died. And
boy, that was a real bummer of a record.
And that was the title track.
I know.
I mean, I don't know what he thinks he's selling to. And then there was obviously the other one, My Life is in Shambles, Please Kill Me.
Boy. That one, I enjoyed that one a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, he has a wide range. So MacLeod would just never respond to us because apparently this loser who makes royalty-free music on the internet is too good to give us a few minutes of his time to ask him about Malt Shop Bop and what inspired that wonderful little ditty.
Pretty depressing.
Very depressing.
Can't even get that guy. Can't even get that guy to interact with us. But now, look at us now. Yeah. We are exchanging messages with Ben and Jerry's on the regular.
Oh, yeah. We have Ben and Jerry's as a follower.
We got a cheese company.
We got Cabot Cheese following us and that we're talking to on a regular basis. I think if we bring K-Mac, Kevin MacLeod, back into the fold, because I'm guessing it was me at some point, I decided to boot him from the follow list.
I'm looking at our follow list right now. We follow 8 people. We follow Cabot Cheese, the Lucky Billy Bar, Ben and Jerry's, Amazon.com, Ted Danson.
Oh, we still follow Ted. Nice.
Me, you, and Rusty.
Drunk Rusty. You know what? We could lose one of those. I'll let you figure out which one.
All right. Kyle from that podcast. It is delete.
I need to pick at least I understand it with Ted Danson because I was starting a campaign a year ago to get Ted Danson to recognize me.
Yeah, and meet us in Boston.
And meet us in Boston at the Bull and Finch pub known as the Cheers Bar. It turns out, I'm Ted Danson. I'm too busy. So that didn't pan out. So I think we could... How many followers does Kevin MacLeod have now? Because we started to talk about this last week.
Let's see.
We did get there. Now, we had talked that if we didn't get to a certain number of followers by episode 100, Steve, we were retiring. This podcast was going to die, and it wasn't going to be talked about. It was just going to end. But we got to 1,000 followers a week and a half ago. And we so the podcast will continue. But now that we broke that 1K mark, maybe now we start getting some respect.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, I can't imagine. By the way, Kevin MacLeod, 20.7 thousand followers.
We're at 1/20th. 5% of his followers. That's not that bad. And you know what? I can't say the same for him, Steve. I know we didn't pay for a single one of ours.
It's true.
Hard earned.
Not one. I did notice that our Facebook page just got the notification that we have 400 likes on that.
Hey!
Falling a bit behind, but that's okay.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't know if it's time to maybe see if we can get K-Mac on the horn. Maybe, would it help, do you think, if we go through that process, which everybody says is torturous, to get verified? We could probably get verified now, right?
Yeah, probably. Oh, you know what we should do? You know how we're 100% guaranteed to get K-Mac on? Get the MacLeods on first. Get all of them on individually. Get the internet scuttlebutt machine.
Yeah.
Brewing.
We get the keyboardist. Then you get the triangler.
Yeah. Triangleist.
And then the rain shaker. What are the rain sticker? Is that what are those things called? The rain stick?
I don't know.
It sounds like rain. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
The rain stick?
What is a rain stick?
I feel like that's what it's called. And I'm sure that's what it's called in the musical world. Is this something we need to call Annette about? You know, we talked about she is a recurring guest on this podcast.
The rain stick, the rain stick is a long
How's that beauty
tube.
sound? Does it have a quick link?
Oh, I'm sure. Let's see. Types of percussion instruments. Rain stick, Aboriginal music instrument.
Yeah, that's where I remember it from when I was studying Aboriginal music. Doesn't that just make you want to take a nap?
No.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
What is it? Like, that's not music. That's just a...
Excuse yourself for a moment,
it's
sir.
It's just a noise. Like me going...
I was in New York City.
That's not an instrument.
I was in New York City, the Big Apple.
Sin City.
The Twin Cities.
City that never sleeps.
City of brotherly love was there. There's people on every corner banging on a different trash can and window pane, calling that music. And you mean to tell me that weird stick with beads that fall down isn't music?
No. It's a noise.
Okay.
Play a song with it. Let's hear a song.
What?
Like, that's just a sound.
Would you consider a triangle music?
Yeah.
What's the difference? It's a sound. You can't make a song. They had a joke. What was that commercial?
Yeah, but okay. See, if you take if you're playing the triangle and you hit it one time, no, that's not music. But you can play a song on a triangle.
Yeah, but what if
you can't play a song on a rain stick?
What if I shook the rain stick back and forth? So it's like forward rain, reverse rain, and it's I'm wobbling it back and forth.
Let me give it another shot. Oh yeah, is that your favorite part? Is this the chorus?
This is where it really ramps up. This. You thought it was done.
Yeah, there's the hook.
Yeah.
All right.
Boy, well that's got to be a poll question this week, Steve, because I am so on board. Is the rain stick? How do we phrase it? Is the rain stick a musical instrument?
Well, it is, but.
Because I'm trying to think, is the rain stick music?
Does the rain stick make music or just make noise?
Well, because then I have to go back to the triangle. Because it's the same. It makes one noise, and it's what's that commercial where the guy has a triangle solo and he's just.
Let's try it again.
So this is a rain stick.
Yeah. She does it too fast. She has no finesse. See, there's some finesse with it.
She's not a good sticker.
No, she's a horrible rain sticker, and she needs to go figure out a different instrument. Maybe the violin's easier or something because she can't handle the rain stick.
Well, you're gonna have to convince me. You're gonna have to show me a song that has a rain stick solo.
Okay.
I want you to find me the Eddie Van Halen of rain sticks.
Does the rain stick make music? That will be the poll question this week on our social media.
Or just noise.
I feel like we can't phrase it like that.
Yeah, we can.
No, it's got to be yes or no. Rain stick is the
it has to be it's either or.
Because it obviously makes noise. I'm thinking of it's the same class of instruments as a triangle. What is it, like a maraca? Where you just shake it and it's the same thing. It's a piece of wood with beads in it, right?
Yeah, but that you can like play a beat with it.
I mean, you
could say it. Go ahead, say it. Because no, you can't.
You know what, Steve? Here I am. I'm on the hill. I'm prepared to die on it. You can make a beat with a rain stick.
There, Kyle, you are perched alone atop Rainstick Hill. With no support in sight.
Come at me, Confederate soldiers. Me and my musket on top of this hill, defending the rain stick until
No, you don't get a musket.
Die.
You just get a rain stick.
Then everybody else gets maracas, and we'll have the dumbest fight known to man.
Ugh, garbage.
That's a nice instrument.
4 minutes ago, I didn't even know what this stupid thing was. And now I'm so passionately hating it. Because it's a dumb thing that just makes noises.
So you wanted to go to like 5 minutes ago before you knew what this thing was? You prefer to live your life that way?
If I could time travel for any reason, if I could go back in time for any reason, at this moment, it would be to make this conversation non-existent.
I think we could say that about a lot of this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why people have been tuning in for 98 episodes plus a few video episodes.
Right. Yeah.
So technically, we're over 100.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We've been efforting on that. It's I think that's a good number. Yeah, over. You know what? We did it without fanfare. We just wanted to cross that 100 bridge.
Yeah,
that was no doubt suspension, and move on.
Jesus,
move on to the other side.
Nope, no. So, to make a long story short, you have 2 weeks to get your happy 100th episode gifts in the mail and sent to us.
Oh, what'd you say, Steve? Happy 100th. Gifts?
Yeah.
I feel like we have a theme song when we're talking about sending us gifts or mail.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's been mentioned.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14.
Oh, really? What's it say?
We gotta restart it. I don't know why.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig, aren't you interrupting the story at the most suspenseful part? Well, the answer is yes, Sally.
I like how we actually found the original that doesn't have that weird skip in the middle of it where it starts over. But before we recorded, we both said, no, we can't use the good one. Got to use the bad one.
For some reason, somebody made that video where it weirdly stops and restarts.
Yeah.
That is the new mail music that we will use every time we discuss getting a piece of mail.
And if we do edit it, it has to be Hey folks, viewer mail time, and then just skip to the part that says "Dear Pig."
Yeah, that's the only way we can have to do this. So, yeah, that's every time somebody sends us a gift in the mail or an email or a letter in the mail delivered by the United States Postal Service, or if they hand deliver mail, any mail we get, Steve, we now have a intro song to play.
Yeah, well, we actually have a couple because Jesse sent us.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
Mail time songs. So let's get to that too.
You got mail. Mail time.
So keep those suggestions coming.
Wait, well, there's a closer too, because that one was titled "Mail Time." This one's titled "Mail's Gone."
Oh, so like when we're done. That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
When we're done, it's
Open
a
and
wrap
close,
up.
so you really bookend it.
Yeah. Get to,
Oh.
sounds similar.
Sounds very similar.
Hey, where's the mail? The mail's all gone. Well, I guess that mail's all gone.
Well, you know what they say. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Jesse, what the hell was that? Is this something that? Now I feel like this is dangerous here for us to attack him, because I feel like this could be one of those things where absolutely everyone in the world knows what that is. They're like, you idiots, that's from the episode of Rick and Morty or something.
Right, that's what it's going to end up being, where something that we're so out of touch on.
I know.
And everybody's going to say, that was really good, Jesse.
Yeah.
I just don't understand 1 second of it.
Or did you make that? Like, is that you singing?
I don't want to insult it, because I think it's fantastic that he would even take a minute of his time to do something. And
I kind of want to insult
Jesse's a fantastic listener and friend of the podcast here. So that's why I'm
former guest on 2 Minutes of Awkward Conversation.
And that's why I feel comfortable in saying, Jesse, what the hell, man?
And his email, it had, let's see, from Jesse, mail time intro and outro, and then all of these emojis, like smileys and crying, laughing faces.
Oh, good.
And then he said, Fruity Loops plus lack of sleep equals. I don't know what any of that is. I mean, lack of sleep, I'm assuming he made that when he couldn't sleep. I don't know what Fruity Loops is. Is that
just a cereal? Was he just having cereal? Was he tired and had
like
cereal?
It was a knockoff Fruit Loops?
Yeah, he found Fruity Loops.
Fruity O's.
Yeah.
Fruity Circles.
He tweeted at us a couple days ago. I think my mail time intro and outro I sent might just be crazy enough to work for the show.
Oh.
3 crying face emojis. So I think...
Yes, I am.
One thing we need to talk about is tone down the emojis.
Yeah.
That's a bit much.
Yeah, and plus, we already have a viewer mail intro.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally.
I bet it's from Sally. Oh, okay. Just in case you missed it.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig, aren't you interrupting the story at the most suspenseful part?
I love the idea of it. Just saying, hey, folks, viewer mail time. Dear Pig.
Dear Pig. We're gonna have to make that work before the next time we have a piece of mail, which hopefully and presumably might be very soon, Steve.
Yeah,
very soon.
Just 2 weeks from now, we will be sitting in these very chairs, recording episode 100 of this famed podcast. And I mean, I close my eyes right now and I picture it, and it's like Christmas morning. It's just a mountain of gifts.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see.
We're plucking them off the top as we dig through the pile.
We're gonna need a ladder.
Yeah.
We're gonna, if somebody could send us a ladder
as a gift,
so we can get to the top of the stack.
Yeah.
For the gifts, please gift wrap it, but on the outside in parentheses write ladder.
Right, so we know which one to open first.
So we open that one first.
And I don't want just one sheet of paper. Like I want the paper on the sides of the ladder, and then I want each individual step wrapped too. So like we can see that it's a ladder. But again, you cannot write or you cannot tell us in advance outside of writing on the package. Parentheses, ladder.
Right. Yeah.
So 2 weeks from now, that's what
man,
will
we
be.
have a lot of really specific instructions for people that listen to this.
Well, I don't even know if one of us could remember. Now, if somebody is good enough to want to go back and maybe if they could write a checklist of what you had said it costs to advertise on this show, I think that would be very prudent. Then we could just put that in a form for people who contact us about advertising and hand that to them.
It was very specific.
It was very specific, and I do not have the wherewithal to go back and listen to it all. People who know this show better than you or I do could probably pinpoint where you talked about those specifications and write those down.
That was 2 months ago, maybe.
Oh, boy. Yes, it is. Another one. The streak continues. As always, privileged to be in the presence, Steve, of somebody whose body so betrays them that it makes those noises on a weekly basis. We had a tweet last week saying they could hear it without having to wait for us to boost it whenever it gets played.
The one last week, that was the one. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
right?
that's a number 1 seed.
And it was like 5 seconds long.
Oh, it was absurdly long to the point where we could react and it still wasn't done while we reacted. I don't even know what we were... so yeah, listen, we always welcome viewer submissions or listener submissions, though. If you want to send it, if you have a mail time intro or outro that you want to make or send to us, it's going to take a heck of a lot to beat.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14.
Bring it back.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
There's a difficult musical mountain to climb if you want to get your music on this podcast. You're going back to Malt Shop Bop. You're going to our very own Fast Five intro.
Yeah. There's also our closing music. I don't know if we've ever said what it's called. Pulse Rock.
Pulse Rock. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Every now and then you get a happy bee surf. And there's been a handful of times where you've heard Twisted. Very gritty.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Our Fast Five intro. Now our Mail Time intro.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, of course. You can't forget. You can't forget.
Oh, is it time?
People all know the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
It is Trivia.
You know, we haven't done this in a long time. We normally do this at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
but what the heck? We just fired that intro there. So
I scramble now to find my updated scorecard as we keep track of Cheers Trivia. This is probably, I'm going to guess, the 7th or 8th instance that we've had of Cheers Trivia here, Steve. Now, this started back August 7th of 2017. We have not done this since March 13 of 2018.
I would have thought that it was longer ago than that. That's only like 2.5 months.
Yeah, and before that was 2 months and 1 week.
I would have thought 6 months easily since we had done this.
We did it 3 times in September, once in November, once in January, once in March. So we are on a really odd 2-month stretch. And the current standings, I am total 11 of 23.
Oh, boy.
Just under 50%.
Just under 500.
With 15 total points. Now, for scorekeeping purposes, I get 1 point for each question I answer correctly with the multiple choice answers listed. I get 3 points.
This is the debate we have every time. It's funny how we remember not being sure about what points you get.
It is 3.
Okay.
Based on other scores, it's 3 if I get it without the multiple choice being listed.
Okay. So 3 questions here on this card from the 1980s, probably early 90s trivia game.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, the board game.
Okay. Are you ready? Would you like the pink question, the green question, or the purple question?
Go green.
This is a who said question.
Oh, boy.
Who said, quote, "I never thought you were cold. I always meant to tell you that, but I didn't think I could approach you. End quote.
Okay, so that is somebody I want to say that was to Rebecca. Boy, I kind of want to guess this without the multiple choice.
Now, you don't get... wait, what happens if you guess it without the multiple choice and you get it wrong?
Just 0
it's
points.
over, right?
Yeah. Boy, I think I have a real read on this, Steve. I'm going to go for it all here. And I'm going to... Now, do I need just the just the character name, I'm guessing?
Well, it's... The options are...
Someone to someone else?
Someone to someone else, yeah.
Then I better... You know what? I'm going to take the multiple choice, but I want to say this preemptively so I can hold it over my own head. I'm almost positive it's Norm to Rebecca. But I will wait for the multiple choice.
I'm not going to let you wait till the multiple choice, because that wouldn't be fair, because you got that question right.
I nailed it! Yes! Now, that was obviously Norm trying to make amends with Rebecca Howe, who is the love interest of Sam Malone, Steve. Manager of the bar, post Diane.
Would you like the pink question or the purple question next?
Pink next, sir.
Okay. This is a what happens question.
Okay.
What happens to Norm and Rebecca when Norm paints her office?
I feel like I know the answer, but I'm going to wait for it again. I'm gonna take the multiple choice here.
Okay, A, they become good friends.
Yeah.
B, they get into a paint fight.
No.
C, they decide to become romantically involved.
Boy. I think it's A. I think it's just your basic A. I don't remember a paint fight, but I'm probably wrong on that. But I'm going to go with A, good friends.
You say A, they become good friends.
Yep, Norm and Rebecca.
It's a heck of a day.
It's a bonding moment between Norm and Rebecca when Norm's looking for work.
Purple question. Let's see if you can...
3 for 3. This will be my first ever.
You're going for the sweep.
Oh.
You're going to be over 500. Because you've already gotten 4 points today on these 2 questions.
4 points.
This is a who said question.
Mm-hmm.
Who said, I love my neighborhood. It's so quiet there. Especially since the gang started using silencers.
Oh, boy. I feel like I'm ahead, so I kind of want to dance with the devil on this one and go without the options.
Okay.
I'm going to say Carla.
You say Carla.
The sassy Rhea Perlman. Married to Danny DeVito in what we describe, Steve, as the world's ugliest couple.
Good God. Combined height of like 6 feet. You say Carla.
That's Carla.
That is option C on this card.
It's on the card.
It's on the card.
So I've at least gotten on the card. It's Diane, isn't it? What? Is it Cliff? Okay. It's Woody. That's what it is. Yeah. Yep. I should have known, Steve. Now, we all know Cliff moved into an apartment building he couldn't afford. His mother moved in with him, so it wouldn't have been him. That was a stupid...
Knows your name.
Trivia.
Patton 500.
Yeah?
500. 13 out of 26 with 19 total points after going 2 for 3 today. Boy, these 2 for 3. I have yet to have a goose egg, and I will hold my hat on that. I have been, the worst I've been is 1 for 3. Everybody remembers 2 months ago when I was 1 for 2.
I want to know why we're actually keeping track of points.
No idea.
Because they don't mean anything.
No, this is for my own good. So, I don't think points matter. I would just be curious about how many I get correct.
Yeah, I think that your record matters. Like 13 for 26, that matters.
Right.
But points, okay, you have 19 points. Like you could have 9 donuts or like 11 toenails.
I turn those into Steve and Kyle bucks.
Oh.
At the end.
Okay.
And then I pick from the wall of goodies, which is usually like Chinese finger traps, parachuting soldier men that you throw from 4 feet up.
Like a Teletubby.
Yeah, and then like a weird jelly-style ball that gets one strand of hair on it and doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
That's
possibly coming soon to the Steve and Kyle merch store, the It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere mug.
Oh, we've got to get that on merchandise with that slogan, and then maybe like our faces on a mug with that on the rim type of thing.
I want a caricature of me with that mug in my hand.
Absolutely.
Zach, make me the Polly Walnuts picture you drew of me. Yeah. I need that mug in my hand. Kind of given like a hey.
Yeah. Speaking of Zach, we haven't officially mended fences since the disaster that was the logo of last week, Steve. Now
that beautiful logo,
that atrocity was posted on the internet against our non-disclosure agreement. So people are lucky to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain that he.
Did we determine whether it was Bebop or Rocksteady?
Nope. We did. Already forgot. Definitely. We'll call him.
Which, by the way, we debated whether or not Zach drew that. He says he did.
He did. He drew it, and it looked outstanding. Looked great. If I were a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain.
Yeah. So Zach reached out to us.
Yeah.
He said he would be happy to draw you in cartoon form, but he needs a photo. Did you send him a photo yet?
I didn't. I looked back and I was trying to find one of, just me. Couldn't find any, Steve.
Okay. Not what you don't have one picture of yourself.
None that I'd be willing to send along.
Okay. Well, let's. I'm going to take.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Yeah, I am going to take a picture of you now. Now.
Now I should go hat on. No, I'm a hat guy now.
Yeah, you're a hat guy.
The hairline makes me a hat guy.
Yeah, be most true to yourself.
Yeah.
I have gray hair in my cartoon because I have gray hair in my life.
That's a real Polly Walnut stripe he drew on you, though.
I know.
That's very Polly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me take the headphones off now. Should I pose or should I go like stern face, happy face, side angle?
Well, first you have to start out by doing the pre-photo stretching exercises.
Perfect. Okay, that's the one. Okay, now you ready?
Nope, that's it.
And
sent.
Okay, there we go. I took the headphones off.
No, we'll do an actual one.
Send them both. Let's see if he can match them up.
You got to push the mic out of the way because this is this is real life. This is casual Kyle, Cash Kai, Cash Kai as I call you.
And I tell you what, I can't tell you how many text message chains, group messages was when, hey Cash Kai, you good for that this week? And that's short for weekend.
Yeah,
we don't even have time to do that.
Yeah. All right. Are you ready?
Should I look off in the
No, I think you need because I think mine. I'm looking.
Profile,
I'm looking.
Okay.
Looking straight on. All right. So do something that you do. Wait, I'm zoomed in too much.
It's just my nose.
Yeah. All right. Do that again. Like.
So you think that one will work?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good. Now that's just me and a that's just a day at the podcast.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Now, Zach had he tweeted at us asking for a...
I don't know. Zach, I'll send you a face shot.
Nope. I am sending this.
Oh, good. Boy, I can't wait to see if I become a Power Rangers villain this time. Maybe the dad from Dinosaurs.
It's just Cash Kai. That's how Cash Kai rolls.
It's Cash Kai. You can't catch him in a straight face setting because he doesn't have one. But yes, Tea O'Clock Somewhere. That will be in the merch store that we are still discussing and figuring out how to do. That needs to happen.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got so many stupid merch things that need to go on. It's Tea O'Clock. We obviously have 10 Speeds, Bikes, Nuts. Mm-hmm. That has to go on there as well. A lot of things that need to be set up for that to work.
It's Tea O'Clock Somewhere. God, I love that.
I want to pop me down a little bit.
Yeah?
There we go.
Better?
I just felt a little hot.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I've been riding
You're
the gain all day because
I heard it. When I can hear my loudness in my own ears, I know that that's going to be a problem on the back end.
Yeah, I still have this cough that completely ruined last week's episode.
Now, I didn't listen back. I'm assuming we left it where you took the cough out and you would just hear me go, 11.
Some of them.
Okay,
I
good.
left the coughs in. I was kind of disappointed because we finished recording last week and we thought universally disaster.
Just an atrocious
Absolutely
episode.
A disaster episode. Everything fell apart. I was a little disappointed to see how many people commented. Yeah, sounds like a regular episode.
Yeah. So that goes to show the difference between our good and our worst
Yeah.
is literally not noticeable.
Yeah.
So what does that say more, though? Does that say our ceiling's really high? Or is that are our ceilings really low? Or our floor is really high?
We do have a very high floor here.
It's either a high floor or a low ceiling. It's
That's a billboard.
You get the Steve and Kyle podcast. You get one of two things. You're getting a really low ceiling, really low ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I'd call it like a 6-footer. You walk in, tall guys have to crouch.
Okay.
Or you're getting a really tall floor. You're walking into that house and you got to take 3 steps up.
You got to jump up.
Yeah,
to get in there.
Either way, though, it's uncomfortable and it's not very good.
No,
that's what you need to remember, and I think that applies very much so to this podcast.
Yeah. High floor, low ceiling. The Steve and Kyle podcast.
Thanks for all the feedback, though. If you enjoyed that one, you are a sadist and you have some problems.
That was bad. Yeah, that was one of those ones where, as we're recording it, we're kind of doing the whole eye contact thing. Like, yeah, this is a complete disaster, right? Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do this. It's not atrocious, right?
Yep. But anyway, moving on to the big news of the day, the big push.
Oh yes, my goodness!
Big crowdfunding campaign to get our faces on a billboard, which, as everybody knows, is the best way to spread news.
In 2018,
in 2018, yeah, you could do like targeted social media advertising. You could
okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How about I just ride on a unicorn too?
Well, you know what? Paul Revere had more reach, and that idiot rode on a horse in 2 towns.
Yeah. Maybe I'll print out some leaflets, and Bigfoot can give them out too.
For crying out loud!
I mean, we got to stick to what people know, and it's roadside signs.
Roadside, larger-than-life billboards from ranging heights of 5 feet off the ground to like 30 feet off the ground.
So a couple weeks ago, we decided we're going to get this campaign up and running. We're going to throw a dart at a map that was on the wall here. It landed in the state of Ohio.
Yes.
And so our goal now is to raise enough money to get an actual billboard put up in the state of Ohio, because we feel that Ohio is the gateway to the world.
That's weird. I've always looked at Ohio as the gateway to Pennsylvania.
Or Michigan, depending on which way you're driving.
Yeah, it depends which way on the turnpike you're at.
Yeah. So yeah, with the push is on. Our goal is $3,000.
Which, again, we had to put a number, and we've talked about this. We do not have an earthly idea of how much we...
No.
I've seen numbers in the thousands. I think it was Zach sending us links that had showed numbers like $300.
If it's $300, I got some good news for you. There's going to be a billboard.
There's a no questions asked billboard going up in the near future.
Because as of right now, just 1 week into the campaign, which did we even have to set an end date on it?
Nope, very weird as well.
Okay, so there's no end date, even though we've said numerous times 30 days. I have to tell you. Oh wait, I need some like triumphant music.
Oh
here.
yeah, you are you ready with the big the big uplift music? Because
let's see. How about this is a lot longer than I thought it would be. I'm going to go with...
Did we use this before?
Yeah, we did. That was when we were doing election coverage.
No, the election coverage had like a... Yes!
Kyle, are you ready for me to tell you what the grand total money raised for our billboard campaign 1 week in? Okay.
Hang on. We'll get the next one. Oh, it doesn't loop back around?
No.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Tell me, Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis? Was it... Tell me, Jerry. My kid's got...
Jerry Lewis, yes. Jerry Lee Lewis, no.
My kid has MS. How much is this thing raised?
How much does this thing raise for your kid with MS?
Isn't that what he did the telethon for? He's dead now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Come on, Jerry. The kids are waiting.
I'm not sure if this is the feel to the Jerry Lewis telethon. I feel like we're taking some liberties with Mr. Lewis's legacy.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. So, tell me, Mr. Celebrity Man, those victims of the hurricane are waiting to hear.
Okay, just 7
Who
days
have
in.
MS.
Okay, the MS hurricane survivors. Just 7 days in, we are... .333 repeating percent of our way to our goal.
Oh my goodness, look at this. The staff has come out of their cubicles.
Yeah.
They're at the door giving us a round of applause. We potted down the
crowd mic.
But they're all there cheering us on. They can't believe we've gotten this far.
Yeah. So we are just over 8% of our way to our goal. We have $250 raised.
Which has already more than doubled what you thought we would get.
What did I say, $100?
You said this thing won't get $100.
And Zach proved us wrong. Zach,
my God, how stupid.
Marketing manager or VP of marketing for the Lucky Billy Bar.
Yeah.
Instantly on board with $100 donation.
Amazing. And now I wouldn't expect a soul on the planet to donate that much.
I mean, Zach should because he's technically employed, so...
Yeah. I mean, that's honestly his paycheck going there. Any dollar helps. Honestly.
Yeah.
From $1, $5.
From the $5 donations up to the $100 donations.
Yes.
Hey, if you want to make a... what are we at? If you want to make a $2,750 donation and get us there, then we can just we'll pull this ad down now and or pull the campaign down now and get that billboard up and running.
Get that billboarded, right? Get that thing up.
Yeah.
Get that thing cooking in the Ohio sun.
So are we thinking summer, or do we wait until like fall sweeps?
I would think late summer is a good target. Again, so this link, easy to find. It's on all our social media. It's in the show description here as you listen to the podcast. GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard.
Yeah.
And somehow that was still available.
Yeah, it's remarkable. I can't believe that other podcasts haven't jumped on board and tried to steal the vanity URL that we got.
Well, it's all those idiots going for Google ads.
Yeah, come on.
And other digital types of things. Well, what they're missing is this neighborhood that we're presumably going to have a billboard up in the middle of Ohio. Mm-hmm. We've had a few recommendations on towns in Ohio.
Yeah.
This is all subject to whatever money is in the coffers at the end. And... however much we can haggle this no doubt billboard salesman moron down to see what we can get.
Now, name a random town in Ohio.
Youngstown.
Okay, yeah. So say we decide Youngstown is the place.
Yeah.
I want the billboard to have our logo on it, and then in quotes underneath, Youngstown's Hometown Podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So that way people tune in and they say, I want to hear a taste of home.
I think for that period of time, so let's say this thing goes up, last week in August. That next episode, we need to devote like 10 minutes to fun facts about Youngstown.
Yeah, or just pull up the Daily Bugle and talk about all the hot happenings.
Well, maybe we can join one of the Youngstown Informed pages, the Watchdog page.
Oh, yeah.
And see what's going on in the neighborhoods.
Sure
and we can talk about those.
Yeah, you see Mrs. McNamara, she's tilling her rhododendron garden this week. So if you want free rhododendrons... you just go to Mrs. I already forget her name's house.
Anybody been down Rhubarb Lane today? I saw a couple cop cars. What's up?
Lost dog alert. Got a dog in my yard. I don't have a dog, so it's somebody else's dog.
Anyone know why that ambulance was at that place down the road? We'll read those news tidbits.
Yeah, we'll talk about the new restaurant in town.
Yes.
That's opening up. See how long the wait is.
And that's how we're going to capture Youngstown until Billboard Campaign 2019, when we choose a different town and capture the hearts and souls of that.
Now, a different town in Ohio, or are we going to branch out? Or are we just sticking with Ohio?
Should we just dominate
Stick
Ohio,
with the Buckeye State.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's community by community.
Yeah,
we take them down.
Yeah, because I mean, as the saying goes, you win Ohio, you win the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's political, I would presume.
Oh, I don't know.
Just in general.
Yeah, just in general.
So that's where we're starting. Middle of Ohio, step 1. Rest of country, step 2.
Step 2. Yeah.
Wow, that feels like a direct line. A lot easier than I anticipated.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be simple.
I'm a big fan.
Just years from now will be the biggest podcast this country's ever seen.
Again, GoFundMe.com/Get Our Podcast on a Billboard. Links are on our Twitter, Facebook, our personal, my personal Twitter. Steve will be tweeting it out from his personal one as well. Please donate and share. Honestly, we know this is a joke. If you don't have to explain yourself, if you can't donate, it's not a big deal.
Not at all.
We know this is literally throwing your money away.
Yeah, this is
the dumbest instance of it.
But we have decided. I think we talked about this. If this does happen, we're going to have a road trip to the Billboard.
You want to rephrase that?
When?
There you
go. When this happens, when this maybe happens, we're going to have a road trip to the Billboard. We'll try to do it on a Saturday or something, just so we can get pictures in front of the Billboard.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll go to a local pub. Anyone who shows up, we're buying a round of drinks. Yeah, absolutely.
And but only if you donated, of course. We don't want any freeloaders out there, just showing up.
They drive to Ohio, but they couldn't donate. But they drove to. How much you donate?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, cool.
Drinks for everyone but this idiot.
Yeah. Sorry, loser. Looks like you're drinking pond scum.
Yeah. You go drink. You go. Why they can't get their own drink?
No, it's either we buy you a drink or you drink out of a pond.
Listen, I'm not here to question the rules. I am fully in favor.
Yeah.
That is absolutely the plan. I think that's wherever we choose in Ohio will be more within a drive for us. We can go down there. Anybody, if you're within earshot, you can also meet us there.
Yeah.
Take group
Maybe
pictures.
we could caravan.
Yeah. Like a
convoy.
Convoy, yeah. We'll convoy down. We can all get CBs.
I have a CB.
You have it?
In the Jeep.
Okay. Billboard conversation's over. Please donate and pass it along. That's the biggest help you can give us is honestly by sharing it outside of donating, which again, we totally understand. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to donate. It's really silly. It would be awesome if you did, and it would be more awesome if you did and we could see you down in Ohio whenever this thing goes up, because if you don't donate and just go to Ohio, we will not see you. So what you're telling me, Steve, is if we go to your garage right now, you and I could have a conversation with Billy on the highway, I'm sorry, I don't want to use Billy. I would never refer to somebody named Billy in a negative light, as seeing as the candy bar sweeping the nation is known as the Lucky Billy.
That's right. Yeah. Do not use that name in vain.
Yeah. And so Jimmy traveling down the expressway, we could have a little breaker one-niner conversation.
It is in the process of being installed in the new Jeep. I haven't fully hooked it. Within 1 hour we could.
So are you paying to have this installed?
No.
Did it come stock?
No, I had one in the old Jeep.
Okay.
And I uninstalled it because I didn't sell it. I didn't sell it with the Jeep.
Okay.
Uninstalled it, and I started to install it last week. I just didn't have enough time. But yes, we could be breaker in all the way to Flagstaff. I don't even know. I don't like. Do those work? Is that
all the
right?
way down Route 66, Steve?
Yeah.
You and I travel the country, breaker, and with all the other roadies.
But yes, so we will drive the Jeep to Ohio, and we will breaker the whole way there.
There's not going to be a bigger line of enticement than that, folks.
And then when we pull over at the local watering hole, where that idiot's drinking pond scum, for some real entertainment, we can go out in the parking lot and we can talk to all the lizards.
Talk to all the truckers
Yeah.
heading down the expressway, heading to No Doubt Greener Pastures, looking at our podcast.
Yep.
Billboard, wondering how they can get it on their... They don't have a phone. Who am I kidding?
In my perfect world, like in my brain, this is how this works out. We get a billboard in wherever Ohio for 1 month.
Sure.
So the billboard goes up first couple days. Nobody really thinks anything of it. But at some point, someone, probably from the Informed page, probably Mrs. McNamara with her rhododendrons, she's gonna send a Facebook message to the local news station and say, "What is this? I don't know. I've never heard of these fellas."
Yeah.
And they say they're
gross.
Youngstown's hometown podcast. And then there's gonna be this like live at 6 o'clock, the lead story on the news.
Hang on. I'll build it up for you. Okay. The 6 o'clock news tonight.
Wait a minute.
Oh, sorry. Oh, the music. Welcome to Action News 6. We now go live to our breaking news story tonight in Vermilion, Ohio, where a mysterious billboard has been spotted, and we tackle the case. Because then we're on the news in the middle of Ohio.
And then we time it right, because they're going to find us on Facebook. They're going to tag us in a post, and we're going to say, "Hey there, Action News so-and-so reporter.
Yeah.
We're actually heading there tomorrow." And then we're going to be there. The news crew pulls up.
Yeah.
It's like straight out of Anchorman. They're taking pictures of us. They got video. There's the B-roll of us doing nutty faces.
They catch you telling one guy in the corner, "Go drink pond scum, you moron."
And then everybody,
and they all point and laugh at that idiot.
Yeah. And then the report ends with someone on all fours with their head in a pond.
And
then it ends. Boy, I can't wait.
And as we talked about, that's step 1.
Yeah.
And that directly leads to step 2, which is biggest podcast in the country.
Yeah, look, baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps here.
Yep. So that is, again, that's live. GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard. Now, to get back to the important point here, though, Steve, why in the holy hell did you ever have a CB radio? And point B, what made you think you should install that in your brand new Jeep?
Because I went on a couple of trail rides with the Jeep Club.
Oh, boy. Did you guys just spend the whole day waving?
No. When you go on a trail ride, it's good to have communication with the other vehicles. So
cell phones.
Well, yeah, but you can hear the chatter on the CB. So you can be like, "Hey, watch out for the big rock."
Hey, you could have a cell phone, too.
Yeah, but I don't know these people. Okay. So we just all tune into the same channel.
I got it.
And then the person like leading the convoy says, "Hey, watch out, there's a gator up here."
So this scenario, you have encountered a convoy of like-minded Jeep folks that you don't know, and you're going down a trail, and you need to be informed of the upcoming gators so you don't hit them with your Jeep.
Man, maybe not gators.
Hey, I'm just using your words. I don't know what Jeep people are riding on. You know,
we refer to ourselves as Jeeple.
Jeeple. Sorry, I mean I wouldn't want to offend the masses. I wouldn't dare.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a Jeep thing. You wouldn't understand.
Listen, be the first to tell you I'm out of the loop. The first to tell you. So where's this? Does it stick out like a sore thumb? Is it like hanging from the front of your windshield?
No, it just the cord comes out from underneath the dashboard, and then if you're sitting in the passenger seat, usually a pickup truck has it. It's like the little grab handle on the front dash. It just hooks right on there.
Well, I know what we need to do.
What's that?
We need to ditch this setup. You and I drive
just
around.
Go CBs.
You and I do drive around, do the podcast via CB.
Wait, are we driving around separately?
No, it's just one.
Who are we talking to then?
No, it's still our podcast. We just hope people tune in, right? Can't they hear us?
We're just gonna basically hold the CB radio on, and then when I'm talking, I hold it up to me, and then when you're talking, hold it up to you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a live CB show.
But think of the audience, Steve.
Do you think there are live CB shows?
Oh, don't people still do like live? Is that now? Excuse my ignorance here. I have not gone trail riding and need to
believe the question you're about to ask.
And
can't even believe it.
I mean, again, I have not been
ahead,
on a
ask
trail
your dumb
where
question.
I need to be forewarned of gators. So again, excuse my stupidity. Our
time
CB
time for you to look dumb. You have the floor.
Do CB radios and ham radios use the same like waves and like frequencies?
No.
So I can't sit in
That's like me saying, does a cheeseburger use the same wavelengths as a rocket ship?
Well,
it's a dumb question.
That would be odd because the wavelengths that cheeseburgers use are non-existent, but I get your point. So I can't sit in my basement on what is referred to as a ham radio and talk to you driving around shooting gators out of the side of your Jeep.
To be honest, I have no clue. They might work. I don't know. I think that there are some that do both, but I have no clue.
Because I would bet there is somebody doing like, all right, it's going to be 5 o'clock. You know, I got to get ready for the big show on my ham radio this morning, this evening.
Yeah, it's called, Ham Chat.
This is a website. Bringing ham radio to you. Amateur Radio Roundtable. Live ham show every... This very well might be a show about ham. I don't want to...
And it just happens to be on ham radio.
It just happens to be on ham radio. Doesn't that seem like a show that'd be on ham radio? Like a guy every week going on there... Boy, I had a spiral this Sunday. Glazed it.
Little brown sugar.
We'll break in with your favorite ham. Give us a call. Amateur Radio Roundtable live ham show every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. We need to get on we need to talk to these people.
Yeah.
We need to be on their ham radio show. If anybody knows of a ham radio show that has call-in. Now, does that matter? Could we call in just even if we're not in the area? Because it's based on
ham travels like I know a guy that does ham radio and talks to people like in Europe on ham radio.
Okay,
yeah.
Well,
unless he's just lying to me because I am very gullible.
Well, this live ham radio show is Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central. Invite you to join our ham radio Facebook group. The phone lines and chat room are open for questions.
Wait, but I want to ham in. Like, I want to use my ham radio.
Oh, yeah. Why can't they cut in our ham radio that we don't have and talk to them live?
I'll buy a ham radio, man.
Oh, yeah.
I bought a CB radio. I'll buy a ham radio.
Yeah, this group right here looks like a bunch of ham radio idiots. There isn't one of the lot that looks like they've ever... Like, it looks like when they had their first experience with a regular radio... they all said, nope, that's too big for me.
Yeah.
Look at and there's Miss McNamara with the rhododendrons on the right. We need to get in this group. This group is created to inform amateur radio operators, shortwave listeners, and electronic enthusiasts.
I'm an enthusiast. I love electronics.
Well, don't I feel stupid because there's 6,708 members in this group.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty popular, man.
That's one of the sadder things I've ever heard.
That ham radio is popular?
And that's coming from a guy.
Oh, my mic's about to fall.
Oh, for God's sake. If there's ever a need for APS 4.0, it's just to get you something.
2023.
2020. It's just to get you something that doesn't fall off the table all the time. Is he tightening it down?
Yours has never moved, right?
No.
You've never had to tighten it?
It's the same pinch. I've never touched it. We've been in here. How many episodes have we been in here now?
Let's see. We've been in here 6 months, 7. No, probably 8. Yeah, 7 months.
Has it really been that long?
30 episodes or so.
Wow.
We moved into APS 2.0 on episode 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only did like 30 episodes in there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're right at about the mark. Well, probably a little over the marker of where we spent, coming up on where we spent our average time spent, which means we got to get built on 4.0 so we can, that'll be the forever home, right?
Mm-mm.
Forever home?
No.
Hashtag APS40.
No.
Tweeted at Steve this week.
No. Please don't.
APS40 coming to you.
Hey, if anybody in the local area has got a CB radio, hashtag breaker, let me know what your handle is.
Oh my God, we need a handle. What's your? You don't have one? No,
I don't.
Oh boy,
it's got to be something cool though.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was a low rumble.
Hashtag throat our handle is throat goblin.
Oh, that's absolutely it.
Yeah.
Yeah, throat goblin, I got you. That is the dumbest thing ever.
That's my handle. You need your own. We need to put a CB. Can we put a CB in your car? Come on.
Yeah,
man.
I don't see why not.
Come on.
I don't have anything to.
You can get them for like $75.
I want that to be the only way I communicate with you from now on. Like, we just forego text messaging.
So I gotta, anytime I want to talk to you, I gotta go out to my car.
Yeah.
Sit in the driveway.
Yep.
With my big whip antenna.
Yeah, and then you probably have to angle it the proper way to make sure it's angled towards my house.
Yeah.
And then you just send it out and hope I'm in my car at the same time.
Yeah, it's
in that direction.
Well, it's like when you were a little kid and the neighbor was about your age and you had the tin cans with strings from one bedroom to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just have to hope that you are sitting in your car at that exact time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I think that's perfect.
What would it take for you to put a CB in your car?
CB to be paid for in a different car.
Why a different car?
I just don't want to put a CB in my... I would like a junker, and I would have a CB, a ham, and...
Oh, so you'll be the guy that has 9 antennas on the trunk.
Yeah, and then I'll put 3,000 bumper stickers on it.
I think that you're thinking that it's going to take up more space than it really is.
No, I just think it's stupid, and I don't want one.
Well, that seems pretty definitive right there. Guess you're not getting a CB. You're not going to have a cool handle like Throat Goblin.
Boy, is that ever a regret someone might have in their life down the road?
So the stage is set then later this summer.
Yes.
Billboard, road trip.
Very excited.
CB. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be an epic little journey.
Yeah, drinks on us.
Drinks on us, except for the people who didn't donate. Pond scum, every one of them.
To everybody who has donated so far, thank you very much. That is more than kind of you.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's just know that. Give it another 3-4 weeks. You'll have that money back. That money will be safely back in your account.
Yeah, and we'll cover the whatever pennies they take out of each transaction.
Oh no, we won't. No, we didn't.
And so Steve and I will lose money on this.
No,
so
no, I'm not losing. No, I'm not putting out one dime.
Thank you to Tana Nunez. I'm guessing it's Nunez.
Yeah.
Rai Gurin, Lynn Brandt, Jeremy Jackson, Marcy Metcalf, who left a comment.
Oh, Marcy, yeah.
Saying she felt bad for telling Kyle I hated him. So I guess...
Never feel bad for that, Marcy.
Are welcome for that donation.
Never feel bad.
Jonathan Schoaf, who is the gentleman who sent us the Sands from Iwo Jima.
Oh, yeah,
found out last week.
Yeah, didn't we have a debate on how to say his name?
Yes.
We said you have to pronounce every letter like he's from the islands.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. So I'll go back. Check like you didn't hear that last part. Jonathan Skahoep. Thank you for your donation. Zach, we talked about. And the very first donation, Betsy. Friend of the show, Betsy Boo on
Betsy.
Twitter. Always fun interacting with her. Again, any dollar helps. This is for our own good. You get no benefits.
No, none whatsoever. Should we get to our newest Twitter friend?
Oh my goodness, I can't. It totally passed my mind.
Yeah, I mean it's a
big deal.
Getting to the point where we'll do Fast Five and coming up next, but first, it's our newest infatuation here on the podcast is eating cheese.
And
if you want, do you want me to go up and slice off a?
You want a couple chunks of sharp?
I mean, I can do it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, I'll give a quick recap about our...
I'm gonna need you to carry the weight here for a minute.
Now, Brown.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
So now while Steve goes and gets this cheese, it's very easy to quickly recap how we are hitting the big time here on the Steve and Kyle podcast. There's no question about it. We're more famous than we've ever been, even against what our download numbers may say. About 2 months ago, we made friends with Ben and Jerry's on Twitter, much to my chagrin, as the war between Ben and Jerry's and Halo Top went sideways in Ben and Jerry's favor. We had listener Josh send us some lovely Ben and Jerry's merch when he went and visited the Ben and Jerry's home base. So this past week, as everybody remembers last week, Steve and I were giving you guys all a window into how to properly eat cheese. The best way to eat that cheese is while recording a podcast and talking at the same time. That's the best way to do it. So we had one of our listeners, I'm trying to remember who it was. I want to say it was Leanne or Leslie, tweeted wondering what kind of cheese it was and just assumed that it was something like Cabot cheese. That's C-A-B-O-T cheese. And they were lucky enough somehow, I don't even understand how this happened, we were lucky enough to get it was Crystal. Crystal, who is a friend of the podcast, and actually I believe one of our, like a bracket challenge last year, received a gift pack of garbage merch when we sent our t-shirts out. Steve and Kyle, I believe you are thinking of Cabot cheese, which is based in Vermont. She actually took the time to tag Cabot cheese. Steve, oh, that's a block of cheese. That looks amazing.
Yeah. This is Tillamook.
And this is out of the state of Washington, right?
Sure. Oh, that is sharp.
That's a sharp style cheese right there.
We should tweet at them.
Tillamook. Mm-hmm. Tillamook. Is that M-U-K, you think, on that cheese?
I think it's M-O-O-K.
M-O-O-K. Okay. Tillamook, then. It's like more of a mook. Yeah, Tillamook cheese.
Are they on Twitter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. We need to tweet a picture
of us eating the
like
Tillamook?
a selfie of us enjoying their cheese.
Here, let me get this microphone out of the way. The podcast is secondary when we're trying to get
No.
cheese.
I think that they need to know that we're a media empire here.
Oh, that's a good point. And the blue lights show that we're serious about this.
All right. Cheese up. Smile.
Fine.
Look at that.
Oh, that's perfect. So Cabot Cheese actually tweeted back at Crystal saying, "We sure hope you were thinking of us." And I'm not going to deny it. I shamelessly tweeted right back at him, Steve.
Mm-hmm. You sure did.
And I said, "Hi, we are on a mission to try the best cheddar cheeses from each state," which is true. We talked about that last week. Mm-hmm. So what the biggest disappointment is that we've received 0 cheeses from any other state today.
Yeah.
Because this is our new podcast.
Mm-hmm.
State cheeses.
Cheese chat.
Except for South Dakota and New Mexico, who apparently do not partake in the cheese industry.
No. Very terrible.
I said, it wouldn't make sense if we tried to explain how this came about. How can we go about getting some of your delicious cheddar cheese?
How do you spell Tillamook?
Tillamook.
Oh, there it is. There it is. We are going to follow them.
And Cabot Cheese was nice enough to respond to us saying, you can start by DMing me a mailing address.
And I did that.
So Steve did that immediately while eating rival cheese.
Hold on. I need that.
Rival cheese.
That's
directly from Tillamook.
A-M.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Tillamook Cheese, brought to you by Tillamook Cheese this week, Steve and Kyle podcast.
Our latest episode.
That's
you like how I actually cubed it?
Yeah, that was a nice, instead of the slice. That's what this podcast is now. Shamelessly trying to get cheeses.
We're cheese whores. There we go. Enjoying some delicious at Tillamook Cheese while recording our latest episode. Tweet.
No doubt that'll get us some more cheese headed our way in no time.
Every podcast, every show has to find their niche.
Yeah.
Ours apparently is cheese.
Cheeses by state. Again, that's another thing. We will welcome your cheeses. If you think your state has a superior cheese other than Tillamook or Cabot, thank you very much to Crystal for bringing Cabot cheese into our life.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a sponsor or anything, so your thanks ends there.
Well, I'm hoping that once I get into work tomorrow, I'll find out that there's been a cheese delivery. I will then hope that cheese has not spoiled.
Yeah.
Since we've been away for the weekend.
Well, more importantly, you'd have to hope that cheese does not fall into the hands of our rivals.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be your side gig.
Yeah, well, that's why whenever I send out the address, I always put my name.
On the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attention me.
Yeah.
That way I can open it up first and not give it to those losers.
We don't need those bunch of grade A buffoons, one, eating our cheese, two, questioning why there's cheese deliveries at a place of business.
Yeah. You want cheese deliveries of your own.
Yeah.
You go and do your own podcast.
Go
about
whore yourself
cheese.
out to Cabot Cheese, or, take a segment and talk about your favorite cheese from every state. That's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So now, and again, this flies into the face of what Kevin MacLeod obviously thinks of us, Steve, because we now have followers. That was me.
That was you.
I'm me.
Whoa.
Am I in?
Look at that.
It's that sharp cheese. I'm in. That'll have to be an honorable mention.
No, I think that needs to make the tournament.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you need to be represented in this tournament
I do.
somehow.
I'll have my one underdog team.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't even know where I was now. No, I totally forget.
Talking about K-Mac.
Oh, yeah. This flies into the face of what he's trying to say, that, maybe he thinks we weren't big enough to be on, for him to be on our podcast.
Yeah.
Well, F you, K-Mac, and the MacLeod. Well, not the MacLeods. They didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be guests on the show.
F you, K-Mac, because we now have followers in Cabot Cheese and Ben & Jerry's.
Yeah. How about that? You ever heard of them? The ice cream?
Yeah.
And the cheese?
Yeah. Who's your biggest follower, MacLeod? Some other internet musician? Probably some idiot who uses a rainstick?
Oh, so you're coming around, aren't
Not
you?
at all, Steve. The rainstick is a beautiful musical device that can make melodies that will last upwards of 3 seconds.
Well, then I implore you to please find that clip, because I haven't been able to.
Is there... I'm not going to get back into it, but this is not over. This will be on the poll this week, and we will talk about it next week.
Are we actually going to put up a poll this week?
Yes.
Because we talk about that often.
Yeah.
What is it?
Is the rainstick... I don't... Oh boy, again, how do we want to phrase it?
No, does the rainstick make music or just noise?
You know what? That's fair. I'll allow that.
Yeah.
That's fair. So we'll check the social media for that, Twitter and Facebook. Twitter at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle for that. But the main point, and I don't want anybody to forget this, is FUK Mac.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good way to wrap up this portion of the podcast. You want to get into the Fast Five?
Sure.
All right.
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I didn't even realize he spells his name stupid, too.
Oh, yeah, it's not MC, it's MAC.
MACLEOD.
No, not at all.
I don't see any Ben & Jerry's on your follower list, you big idiot. Take you in, your stupid free music. If your music was any good, you'd charge for it, you moron.
Are we going to have to change our theme song?
No, I'm so good with him. You know who has more followers? You know who doesn't have 20,700 followers?
Us.
Cabot Cheese. I got 26,000.
Oh.
Big dummy.
Bam.
Yeah, and they don't use the internet. They sell cheese in Vermont. You've got internet music. It's worse than cheese.
You're really...
You stupid dope. All right, Fast Five time, huh? That's what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. You want me to hit it again? Or?
Yeah, you know what? I got a little on hand.
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Idiot broke up his own band.
I don't know if that actually happened.
Steve, we have decided that Kevin and the MacLeods were broken up based on Kevin's ego.
Oh, that's right. Of course, I forgot.
God.
Sorry.
Belmont Stakes.
Horses.
Right?
They run.
Yes,
run around
they
the
do.
track.
Yes, they do.
Is that today?
No, next Saturday.
Okay.
Big.
Good.
By the time this is up, nope.
No.
By the time we record next week, we'll know.
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Oh boy. Not surprising. Really? I mean, not surprised. I'm more surprised that the ABC reboot happened in the first place than surprised that it was canceled.
Yeah, there were a lot of warning signs going in. We'll obviously come back and talk about that. I'll say this, but I don't think you're going to understand it. Yay. Y-E.
Yay. That's Kanye, right?
Yes, the big album.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw there was there was something about the album cover, the album art, but I didn't. I know there's something about it, but I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, he just released the newest album, like Friday or Thursday or something. But yeah, we'll talk about the hoopla surrounding that when we get back to it. Brian Colangelo, did you read that story?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. He hasn't been fired yet, has he?
No, not as of today. This is Sunday afternoon. This all broke Thursday.
Yeah, we had we talked about this on the side gig last week. It's such a crazy story. What is he? The director of basketball operations for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
And somebody got who was the website that got the anonymous tip?
Ringer.
The Ringer got the anonymous
Simmons
tip
startup.
That we'll come back to all of it.
Lastly, the North Korea summit.
Oh, is it on again?
It's on again.
Okay.
June 12th.
June 12th. So the original date that it was on for, I feel like it's gone back and forth, a half a dozen times in the last week or so?
Idiotically, somehow this thing's happening.
So this is going to be in the Philippines?
Singapore,
this is
happening, yeah.
So Trump is going to meet
Kim Jong-un.
With Kim Jong-un.
President, or Supreme Leader, of North Korea. And this is after an ambassador was in the United States of America last week. And there was the photograph of Trump with the ambassador in his office with the comically oversized envelope that nobody knows why it was that big.
I assumed, when I first saw that picture, I thought that it was a Photoshop going back to the whole Trump has small hands thing.
Right.
So they increased the size of the envelope to make his hands look small.
I wonder. It looks so bad, right?
It's because a standard sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11. This looks like it's like if you were to print like a menu, it would probably be on like 11 by 17.
Yeah.
So a little wider, a little taller, but then it's in an envelope that size.
It's like if you got a certificate.
Yeah.
For something, and they put it in an envelope that they had to special order because nobody makes envelopes that size. No. That's what this looked like. You know what? Honestly, I'm curious to see how this goes because...
Well, it's weird because at first Trump said that he got a letter from Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
Which he said was a very nice letter. And then, like, in the same sentence, he said that he didn't read the letter. Which is it?
I mean, none of that's surprising. But
it's like he's just like, listen to what I'm going to tell him now.
Right.
First, I'm going to say I read it. Then I'm going to say I didn't read it.
Get them all flustered.
And then I'm going to say I didn't get a letter. And then I'm going to say, yeah, I got the letter.
I'm still... Listen, say what you will about the guy. If he can somehow broker...
Sure.
Any type
this would be huge.
Ceasefire. Well, there's not a war going on currently, but some type of peace treaty or whatever for the Korean Peninsula. It's the peninsula, Korean Peninsula. That would be historic.
I want to know what happened. Because obviously Kim Jong-un met with the President Moon of South Korea about a month ago or within the last couple of weeks, which is completely counter to everything for the last 50 years.
Yeah, it's totally thawed.
What happened? Do you think that North Korea, they had some realization oh crap, we're totally screwed somehow? It's something that their nuclear program, it just fell apart, and they just decided, well, if we, we're just gonna die. Everyone's gonna kill us if we try to do anything.
Yeah.
It just seems so sudden.
It's totally cynical of me to think, but I can't shake this idea that maybe they're running out of food.
Yeah, maybe.
Money.
Yeah, because they don't really have... They have, no outside aid.
There's no trade. Whatever. I mean, it's that image from a satellite you see where the northern half of Korea is literally dark at night.
Yeah.
And every other place in South Korea and around the world is lit up because of electricity and non-dictatorship style countries. So I don't know. It's very odd that it's happening now. I don't know if there's pressure from an outside force that we don't know about that maybe has an outside interest in this.
We'll probably never really know what
No chance.
what spawned all of that.
But yeah, June 12th, less than 2 weeks, they'll be meeting in Singapore.
Do you think it'll happen?
Yes.
Really?
Because if you cancel now twice in a week and a half span, that would be... It's already bad in the world's eye when it got canceled initially. Now it's back on, and mix that in with the trade war that's going on with our own allies. It's already very poor to look at from an outside perspective. This would be catastrophic, I think, optically, if we pull out of this thing again. I don't know who's going. I don't know if it's... is there a mediator? Or is it just the two of them with a camera crew?
I don't know, because Summit makes it seem like there's going to be a ton of people there.
It'd probably be better for the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know one-on-one negotiations are going to pan out between Rocket Man and what did he call Trump? Fat?
Yeah, like fat boy something.
Fatty, and Mike Pence, who he called Dummy.
Yeah.
Before that, Brian Colangelo, the boss of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Director of basketball operations.
Yeah, he some news came out that from The Ringer this past week, which is Bill Simmons' website, somebody did some
He got an anonymous tip, right?
Yes, and then some fantastic investigation after the fact, figuring out how to approach them while investigating this. Some burner Twitter accounts. Now, if you're not up on the stupid lingo, that would be essentially a false profile on Twitter so that you can follow and do other things on Twitter that people can't see.
Yeah, it's anonymous. It's just an anonymous account.
Yeah.
But yeah, this person somehow figured out that these 5 different accounts, in their opinion, were Brian Colangelo.
Very closely related, or Brian Colangelo. Now, they did, according to the initial tip, based on like Twitter analytics, based on the follows, what they were liking, and what they were talking about using common words, they figured out all of these Twitter accounts were one person or very closely related to one person. And that is proven to be mostly true. People going through acting like they own the Twitter account, wanting to reset the password. The last 2 digits in the phone number on 4 of them are the same. Mm-hmm. And normally this isn't a big deal.
Could be a coincidence.
Yeah. Normally this wouldn't be a big deal. But it's a big deal because these Twitter accounts are were bashing current Philadelphia 76ers players
and coaching personnel.
Yes. Which, if the boss is going online saying everybody sucks and this idiot ruined this, and a lot of it is confidential medical information about a player they traded this December in Jahlil Okafor. Again, it's a complicated web. If you just go to The Ringer, I guarantee you it's the top story. It's a fascinating read. And the way it was investigated was so smart, where he called this writer called the Philadelphia 76ers with the name of 2 of the Twitter accounts, whatever the fake names were, while still knowing that there were 3 others that he didn't report. Mm-hmm. He called the 76ers. Within hours, all of those accounts went private. Yeah. Essentially confirming all of those Twitter accounts were owned by one person. Now, there's
maybe a coincidence.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems very weird. And then
it's an insane story.
So it turns out that the phone number that's associated with the accounts is actually Brian Colangelo's wife.
His wife.
So the question is, and we talked about this on the side gig a couple of days ago, does he know about it, or was it his wife doing it all along?
I think it may be him.
I think it's him.
I do too.
It's got to be. There's no way that she's going to be running 5 accounts.
Yeah.
And not saying, because they're all she's commenting on stuff that he obviously would have had to tell her, because a lot of it was confidential information.
Sure.
So is she going rogue with it? No, she's probably thinking that she's being supportive, like, oh, well, my husband's getting killed on Twitter. Well, I'll just tweet this out and then it'll make him look good. Or I don't think there's any way that he doesn't know. And if he comes back and says, yeah, it turns out it was my wife, she was doing it all along behind my back. No, that's just you trying to save your job.
It doesn't matter to me anyway. I think he's still fired, because the fact is that confidential medical information regarding an NBA player was essentially revealed online based on his knowledge. So even if he's talking about it, she heard it and it tweeted out. Right. Doesn't matter. He's going to be the one held accountable. I think the odds are much more likely that he's fired than he retains his job.
Well, I did I was curious about that earlier this morning. hadn't heard anything about it all weekend, so I wanted to see if there was any update on it. So I just typed in on Google, I typed in Brian Colangelo, and like the first 5 articles that popped up, they were all some form of, like they were all titled in some way that was similar to the Sixers need to fire Brian Colangelo immediately.
Yeah.
Like there were 4 or 5 different websites that all had a similar story to that.
And now he's undergoing a internal investigation by the 76ers. The NBA is overseeing it, whatever the hell that means. But it seems like you're going to get an answer probably sooner than later. This isn't it. It can't be much deeper than whose phone is that? Like they took his phones, Colangelo's phones.
Well, I mean, and that stuff. It's all pretty easy to figure out, right?
It's
like
not
based
that
on
hidden.
IP addresses and stuff like that. Like they can easily determine, oh yeah, this came from this person's phone. This came from this. Like, oh yeah, they tweeted this when they were on the Wi-Fi at this building.
Sure, this seemed ripe for a Friday news dump.
Yeah,
and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see, because if you release this news Monday, it's bad news the whole week. But I think you're losing a lot of play. If it's even related to Colangelo, free agent problems, current player problems, it's bad news all around.
Yeah, be interesting to see how that works out.
Before that, Yay.
Yeah.
Y.E., the album. Yay, it's like 7 songs, 24 minutes or something like that. That Kanye West released, but a lot
Is it any good? Have you heard it yet?
Didn't listen to it. Haven't listened to his last few in depth because I thought they were garbage, from what I've heard. And so he recorded this whole thing supposedly in Wyoming, the state.
Why?
Don't know. But he had a live stream, I want to say it was Thursday night, where the camera was just a picture of a fire, like a burning bonfire. He had 50 people at this random ranch in Wyoming to listen to his new album. They all just danced around log benches and sang his rap songs.
Now, were these just random people?
I don't know. I mean, obviously his wife was there, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were some celebrities that I saw there. Chris Rock did an intro.
Oh.
Like it was just very weird. Very weird, but reviews all over the place for this thing. I feel like he's probably feeling a lot of the backlash from being pro-Trump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and his wife just met with Trump to talk about prisons.
In 2018, the woman who had sex with Ray J on camera met with a guy who slept with a porn star while his wife was pregnant and hosted a reality TV show in the Oval Office.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about right. That's about it.
America.
Really proves to you that you can be anything you want to be.
Tell your kids.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want when you grow up. For that, Roseanne, it's probably one of the biggest entertainment news of the week. Roseanne Barr.
By far the biggest story of the week. Roseanne fired after Ambien tweeting, apparently.
Show was renewed after the second episode.
Yeah. Boy, I'm starting to... Well, no, never mind. I was going to say I'm starting to believe the whole Ambien thing.
Right.
Because of, it was trending on Twitter last week, and we had a bunch of people call into the radio show talking about the things that they did on Ambien.
Yes, you can have crazy...
The crazy things that they... a friend of mine actually tweeted a screenshot of a text he had sent to a friend of his because he had taken Ambien for a while, and it was just... It was crazy because it wasn't just like gibberish words. Like it was a long gibberish paragraph, but like they were all full sentences and they all related to each other, but it didn't
random.
It didn't mean anything.
Really.
So I don't know. I would like to think that Roseanne is not a crazy racist, and if this was the only incident that there ever was, you could kind of say, okay, maybe it was the Ambien. The maker of Ambien tweeted, Ambien has lots of side effects. One of them is not racism.
Sure.
So yeah, it feel bad for all the people on that show that just lost their job because that idiot can't keep herself in check.
Yeah.
Like if you know that you do stupid stuff when you're on Ambien, maybe hide the phone. Like say, hey, can you lock this up until I wake up tomorrow morning?
Yeah. It's selfish, but I'm bummed because I enjoyed the show.
I didn't watch it.
I think you would enjoy it.
I watched the original and I loved it,
Yeah.
so there's no reason I wouldn't like the reboot.
Yeah,
but I think everybody's pulled all the episodes, right? Like you can't. Can you even still get them?
I think you can probably still get them on ABC.
I thought they
on
pulled them
demand or whatever. I don't know if they did. I know like CMT and a bunch of other networks who aired reruns did, but I don't know about the season 10. You could probably still get them on demand.
Oh.
I really enjoyed it, and honestly, people who didn't watch it, who gave it a lot of grief, probably should watch it. I don't think it was Roseanne this, Roseanne that. The show, I thought she was a writer on the show and obviously executive producer, showed a ton of the flaws in her own thinking in terms of politically and whatever other things going on in the world. I loved it. I really did enjoy it. So it's a bummer to see it go. The new claim is that she now thought that Valerie Jarrett, who the tweet was about that got her fired, was white.
Okay.
So that her comparing this person to mixed between the Muslim Brotherhood and Return of the Planet of the Apes couldn't have been racist because she didn't know the woman was black.
Okay.
I don't know if that plays at all.
Well, I mean, unfortunate coincidence then.
Right, it is.
But,
and it's hard to feel bad for her in this scenario. I mean, she got dropped by her agent. It's essentially back to Roseanne to what she was 2 years ago. Yeah. Before they announced the Roseanne revival, which was nothing.
Yeah, and and you probably would say, like, is she still alive? Did she die? Like,
she still has $80 million to fall back on.
She's going to be perfectly fine.
She's okay. I mean,
she lives in Hawaii and like runs a macadamia nut farm or something.
Which I thought she was just this hippie who was pining for pot.
No.
So to find out she was a Trump conservative was shocking to me to begin with, because I thought she was some modern hippie.
Yeah, and because I heard her on Joe Rogan's podcast, and she, when asked about it, she just seemed like one of those people that she was a Trump supporter because like you couldn't get any information about why she was, and everything. Well, like, oh, well, why do you support him? I just think he's gonna, like shake up the status quo. It was all the stuff. It was just those like broad talking points, but there was never like, I really like his stance on blah, 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 blah. It was just, I don't know. He's just different. He'll, he tells people to shut up and like, all right. Yeah. I get if that's your original like appeal to the guy, but give me something a little more than that.
Yeah, and it was a mix. It was going to break bad anyway. There was the same night she was tweeting about George Soros, who I don't even know what he does, but was essentially tweeting a conspiracy theory that he was actually a Nazi when in fact he was a 9-year-old Jewish boy in Germany when the Nazis came to prominence. And it's a bad situation for all around. ABC had to know something like this was going to happen. Yeah. So people are now getting into ABC for, well, you shouldn't have brought it back. ABC's a business. They're trying to make money, and they did it well for a year with her.
I would bet that there was a conversation that took place at some point behind closed doors with Roseanne and the higher-ups at ABC where they just said, look, we know that you're a controversial person. Do us a favor. Just while we're doing this whole deal, try to keep it on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
We do this show for a couple years. You make a lot of money. Everyone else on the show makes a lot of money. ABC makes a lot of money. And everyone's happy.
Yeah.
So can you just like, maybe tone it down a bit? Mm-hmm. I bet that conversation happened. And everyone agreed. Yep, you got it. Sounds
no
good.
problem. Millions of dollars?
Yeah.
You got it.
So,
crazy.
Roseanne, I wonder what she'll do next.
Before that, and first and foremost, Steve, this upcoming Saturday, the Belmont Stakes, the third leg in the famed Triple Crown.
And so, has one horse won the first two?
Justify has won the first two legs, the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes. So we enter, you got to be excited.
Possible Triple Crown. That's the only time that I would be interested in horse
racing. Saturday evening.
Is at a possible Triple Crown. And even that, I'm like, I don't I'm just excited because it's big news.
Yeah, Triple Crown. Justify goes for it. The longest leg of the three, Steve. The Belmont Stakes, 1.5 miles. Coming up, he would be aiming to be the 13th horse to get the Triple Crown. American Pharoah 3 years ago, 2015. Before that, obviously, you're talking about the heyday of horse racing, Steve. The 1970s.
Smarty Jones.
The 1970s. Secretariat. Seattle slew and affirmed all won the Triple Crown in the 1970s. Justify looking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm
This
sorry, man.
week-
That was weird.
A very talented field of 12 this upcoming Saturday.
I don't think you
Steve.
heard me.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know, seemed to fade late last.
No, we are up against a time restraint here. Time constraint. Time restraint. I don't know. One of the straints. Time for the Fast Five. Definitely not talking horses here. Fast Five. Okay. Number 1. I feel like this one's going to be big for you. SmackDown moving to Fox.
It's a field of 12 this upcoming Saturday.
No. We're talking about wrestling.
Okay, SmackDown moving to SmackDown on Fox.
moving to Fox.
Moneymaker, man. I'm bummed it's going to Fridays.
Okay.
I'm really bummed.
Oh, it's moving to Fridays, too.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
You know what that means?
It's on Fridays.
When they're coming to town.
Oh, finally.
I got a partner.
I could go to an event.
Yeah, now this is until next year.
Now, are they... So they're all live? Like
Yes.
SmackDown's live?
Yep.
Okay. I'm in.
It's on Friday night. We're going. We're going next time they're in town.
Next, we've already talked about it at length, Roseanne.
Yeah, it's it's a crappy situation. Wish it didn't happen that way.
Next, Samantha Bee.
Yeah, crappy situation.
Should she be fired?
I don't care, because I was talking about this with a friend yesterday. We'll come back to it, but each network has their own way they want to do business. Honestly,
Yeah.
And it's going to be outrage either way.
Little different, too, because it's network versus
Cable.
Yeah. Facebook trending.
Oh, I have no
hear the big
idea.
news?
Is there a problem?
Big news, man.
Is there some issues?
They're taking away the what's trending. It's going away.
Get the hell out of here.
I know.
How am I supposed to know what's trending without that?
Don't worry. They have a replacement
Okay.
coming.
Oh, thank God.
And finally, J.R. Smith.
Nobody should be surprised. Not a soul should be surprised by what J.R. Smith did.
Kind of a blunder. Is that a bigger,
it's a massive
Is that
blunder.
a bigger blunder than when Chris Webber called timeout when there was no timeouts left?
I think it's on the same level. One cost the team, and now Chris Webber tried to call a timeout with no timeouts, which is automatically a technical foul. And that cost them a national championship game. Now, J.R. Smith. So this, in scale-wise, this probably isn't as big because it's one game in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, probably the biggest news in the sports world, Game 1 of the NBA Finals, tie ball game. J.R. Smith gets a rebound with, I'll call it an 8-foot jumper he could have made, or at minimum...
with 4.5 seconds
4.5 seconds left, or at minimum... thrown it up and tried to get a foul so he can shoot free throws himself. Instead...
Or pass it to somebody. Like, there was still enough time
absolutely
to make a pass, have somebody get a last-second shot.
Yeah. Instead, runs back because he didn't know the score and he thought they were winning.
Yeah, so he basically tried to dribble the clock out from what it looked like. Spawned a great meme.
Yeah, with LeBron James.
LeBron looking at him with the look on his face like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Now, as a LeBron hater, I love it because that's LeBron James' guy. He wanted him in Cleveland. He's the only reason J.R. Smith's in Cleveland right now is because of LeBron James. So you reap what you sow.
Yeah, so they ended up getting
losing,
crushed in over. Like
they
it was
were
like
done.
114 or 124, 114 or something.
Yeah, that ended up being a runaway in overtime. Golden State won, which a lot of people thought they would anyway. So the fact that Cleveland was in it was kind of a surprise. But yeah, J.R. Smith, and now he came out with a statement. Reporters talked to him today, and he said, I don't even know if I know what I was thinking when that happened.
Because originally, right after the game, he said, "Oh no, I knew that the game was tied. I was trying to get myself open to take a shot or get open to make a pass or something."
Which is a cop out and a lie.
Yeah.
He's done this before. He did it when he was a New York Knick.
Yeah.
Forgot the score.
Yeah.
And this is the same guy who there's a video clip of him talking to a opposing player on the bench. He's standing out of bounds, talking to an opposing player on the bench while the play's happening, gives up an easy layup. He's known as an airhead. This is a guy who was on the radio a week and a half ago talking about that's not as good as the green I'm going to have tomorrow, directly saying he's planning on smoking pot the morning before a game.
All right.
And this is also the guy who has a noted affinity for Hennessy in large quantities. So this isn't surprising that of the players to do it, it was J.R. Smith. Funny.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see how that series ends up. Before that, Facebook trending. They're taking it away.
Man, oh man. What are they trying? Are they trying to drive me away, Steve?
Next week, they are taking away Facebook trending and replacing it with some new thing that'll just be the same basic news feed or whatever.
They're not even giving me time to say goodbye?
No, not at all. You believe that?
I won't. I can't stand for this, Zuckerberg. You can do what you want with allowing people to hack an election. But I will not.
But you take away my trending
let
feed.
you take away what's going on in the world. Now, Steve, I ask you, and this is a total side note question that has nothing to do with this part of the Fast Five. Mm-hmm. What is the Facebook trending feed?
Oh, you don't know what Facebook trending is?
No, obviously I do. I said it was a side note. I mean, did you not? For God's sake, man! It's a
here. You know something? I'm going to give you a visual representation.
Separate question that
All right, so here, as you see up on the Jumbotron,
yeah, that's Facebook, man.
Sign into my Facebook page. Scroll down a bit over here. Trending on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's the news stories that I live by, and Zuckerberg's trying to take more news away from the internet and make it fake. So thanks a lot, man.
That was a excellent, full-on. Description of how it's happening.
Yeah,
very good.
Suck it, Zuckerberg is what we're getting.
Suck
at.
it, Zuck.
Suck it, Zuck. Hashtag Suck it, Zuck. Use that this week.
Before that, we had Samantha Bee. She called the first lady.
No, first daughter.
The first daughter. A
feckless C word.
Fantastic. Like that's just a
you don't hear feckless very often.
Certain combinations of words just sound really good together,
right?
Whether they're offensive or non-offensive, there's just certain words that sound really good together.
Right.
And feckless C is definitely one of them.
Yeah, very precise to the point and a punch to the gut of anybody who is on the receiving end of that.
She then issued an apology.
Yeah.
Seems like TBS is okay with that. Like they're just gonna
and again
stick by it.
It seems people wanted to break down political lines again. I don't really care. Again, it's a TV network decision, just like a company, ABC, decided to fire an at-will employee or whatever that's referred to.
So naturally, people are going to compare the two. I still think that I think that what Roseanne said, I would say, that's a lot more offensive because it brings race into the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I just think that there are certain things you shouldn't do, and that's one of them. Just a blatant insult at somebody. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Look, if they want to fire her, they're going to fire her, and I'm not going to be out there standing in line protesting. Just like I'm not standing in line protesting because they fired Roseanne either, or saying that they should have fired Roseanne. It's like, look, man, like. This is it's a very different world than it was 20 years ago or even 3 years ago. You can get fired for things. You can get fired for saying something offensive.
Yeah, and if people want to stage a boycott of Samantha Bee's advertisers, go ahead.
Yeah, do it.
Honestly, it's everybody's right to do that. If you want to be offended by what she called Ivanka Trump, so be it. Personally, I don't care. And, like I said with Roseanne, it's a business decision that if TBS decided or Turner decided, I don't want to be in business with somebody causing this much grief, then so be it.
Yep.
It doesn't need to break down political lines.
But it always does.
It does. And the Samantha Bee one it feels a little bit more reactionary just because of the day before a conservative television actor was fired.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing that happened on a smaller level when Tim Allen and Last Man Standing was canceled 2 years ago.
It's coming back.
It's coming back, but it was, people, well, that's political. They're just trying to get conservatives off of television. Yeah. Maybe
was
the
show show any good? Did the show do well?
I'm a Tim Allen sucker. I've talked about it. I love Home Improvement. Right? Listen, I still think it's funny. I loved Home Improvement when I was growing up.
This computer needs more power.
That's funny, right? He just kept
hey, Al, hook up a big block Chevy to that blender.
Right. And that's funny.
Right.
He just kept putting bigger power into things that didn't need it.
The only reason I ever watched that show, I think that this is the earliest memory of being into cars, because he had that hot rod in the garage that he was always working on. And that was every time I would watch that show, that was if they didn't go out into the garage and you caught a glimpse of the hot rod to see if like, oh, does it have fenders
coming?
on it this
Yeah.
week? Does it have an engine in it? Like that was and it's weird that I just think of that now because I never would have made that connection, but like that was part of what got me into like being into cars or trucks or Jeeps.
So
CB radios.
So that's the reason you watched, like we talked about last week, the YouTube series Monster Jeep Replace the Doors or whatever the new mini series
I don't
is.
remember if that was the name of the series.
So you're
Monster
telling me
Jeep
you don't think Home Improvement was good? You didn't like Home Improvement?
No, I did. Home Improvement was it wasn't up there with like I was really into TGIF when I was a kid. So,
Well, different generation.
Full House, Perfect Strangers,
Step by Step.
Step by Step was okay because they changed up the.
Even with you with a broken home, didn't resonate.
No, my home wasn't broken at that point.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Home wasn't broken until much later.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Yeah, it was Full House,
Boy Meets World,
Family Matters, Perfect Strangers. And I forget what the original lineup was, but that was... man. Because then there was Dinosaurs. I was not a Dinosaurs fan at all.
You were not a fan of of Dinosaurs, the family.
Not the mama. Oh, screw you.
The baby didn't like the mama.
No, I hated that shit.
Come on.
I'm the baby, gotta love me. Ugh.
They released an album, Steve.
Yeah.
A cassette tape that I listened to.
That doesn't mean it was good.
How dare you? Let's see. The first run of TGIF.
Okay, let me try and guess.
Now, it started in technically 1989.
I'm going to say Full House.
Boy, I'm going to have to find it quick, aren't I?
Okay.
Gotcha.
I think
1985 to 1986.
Full House, Perfect Strangers.
Okay.
Family Matters. I don't know. I don't want to guess the fourth one.
Okay.
Dinosaurs? No, it definitely wasn't Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs was a replacement.
So 1988, 1989 is technically the original run. 8 p.m., Perfect Strangers.
All right.
8:30, Full House.
Oh, 2 for 2.
9 p.m. Do you want to change your answer?
No.
Mr. Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere was on TGIF?
Apparently.
Wow.
Only for 1 year.
Okay.
And then the next year it went Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, and a show that I don't know if I could pick out of a TV show lineup, Just the 10 of Us?
I remember Just the 10 of Us,
American sitcom starring a stand-up comedian as a coach and teacher of a large Catholic family with 8 children. Is that like a knockoff of, or was Seventh Heaven a knockoff of that?
Seventh Heaven was definitely a knockoff of Just the 10 of Us. Yeah. I remember Just the 10 of Us very well.
Mr. Belvedere, the original. Boy, the one I remember... Oh, boy, it had to be way... Yeah, the era I remember it was 94, 95. You had Family Matters. You had Boy Meets World. You had Step by Step. And you know what you ended the night with, Steve? Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, I remember Mr.
What
Cooper.
a great era.
I would have thought... I did not think that any of those shows... I didn't think Boy Meets World was a TGIF show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That's the only reason I was aware of it.
Oh, I need to pull up... Because I remember the theme song for TGIF. Like...
they had Sabrina the Teenage Witch came on in there with young Melissa Joan Hart, Clueless, the TV show, Boy Meets World, Step by Step.
All right. I'm gonna play... Okay, this is ABC's TGIF theme, 1991. If memory serves me correctly, the lyrics are, at some point there will be, it's Friday night, and the mood is right.
Yes!
Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGIF.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I remember it.
All right. Let's see. Come on.
Sounds like it's awesome.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right. We're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGIF.
Hello, I'm...
So this...
Oh, and it just went into Balky and Cousin Larry.
So that's 7:59 and 48 seconds. That ditty hits, and you know that your shows are on the way.
All right, now let's see if they changed it for 92. Oh yeah, it's a little
more hip, a little more electronic,
a little more urban.
Yeah. Is that where they added Family Matters? It is
kind of. Yeah.
Oh no, it's earlier.
Gonna have some fun, show you how it's done. TGIF.
Oh, man, the glory days of television right there. How the hell did we go... How did we get onto... From Roseanne?
Yeah.
Okay, and finally...
TGIF ended, Steve, by the way, with the Hughleys. I remember watching that. Yeah. And that split with Boy Meets World. And then it went to Odd Man Out.
I've never heard of that.
That is American sitcom created by... Boy, it aired for 1 year. That's why. Sabrina. And Making the Band.
The P. Diddy show?
Yes. So in the fall...
How was that on TGIF on ABC?
So it went...
Or NBC
The fall season was the Hughleys, Boy Meets World.
What year are we talking here?
1999.
Okay.
So the Hughleys, Boy Meets World, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Odd Man Out, and then they switched it up in the winter to go Boy Meets World, Odd Man Out, Sabrina, Making the Band.
I thought Making the Band was an MTV thing.
Maybe they re-aired it?
Maybe?
Yeah, ABC MTV reality television series exists in separate iterations focusing on a specific music act, none of which are around.
Because they were called Da Band. I remember.
No, that was this was one that made O-Town. You remember the band? They did make the band. You're right.
Yeah,
and that was just like 8 rappers.
Yeah.
And I remember the big bit of season 1 was Diddy made him walk the Brooklyn Bridge to get him a donut or something. I'm almost positive that's what happened.
Yeah, no.
And half of them wanted to quit.
Yeah.
Boy, ABC Friday nights, what happened? George Lopez, 8 Simple Rules. Remember those shows or post
I never
TGIF?
Watched them, but I remember that I know I know the shows. All right, and finally closing out my Fast 5, it was SmackDown moving to Fox.
Boy, big news, SmackDown moving. The Superstar shakeup now. Now, people are questioning because SmackDown's moving to network television, Steve. First time ever. Friday nights live on Fox Network Television. So you're still going to have Monday Night Raw on USA. So people are beginning to wonder.
That's on Monday nights, right?
Yeah. Do you have to put the superstars, more of them on SmackDown because of network television? Because if you have network television, you need the ratings are much more important. You got to get the information out there, Steve. And I feel like you're not quite understanding it unless I get loud. So do you transfer some of the big superstars? Do you set the stage? Now, another big question, does it move to 3 hours? Do you do SmackDown Live 3 hours? Because you have a roster big enough to do this for 3 hours on Friday nights. And 3 hours would essentially clear up the entire block. You wouldn't have to worry about any other scripted programming or non-scripted programming if you're Fox. If you have AJ Styles, the world champion, obviously a big superstar.
So
they're putting it doing promos literally during the week on other Fox programming.
I can't do it. I just can't do it.
12 horses in the field.
That actually blew my eardrums out.
Belmont Stakes.
No. Let's talk GoFundMe.
Barbazzo makes a run here in the Preakness a couple weeks ago.
Can we talk GoFundMe?
Yeah.
GoFundMe.com/
Get Our Podcast on a Billboard.
Okay. We're looking to raise $3,000 so we can...
I feel even bad putting it that way.
No, we're looking to raise $3,000 so we can jump in with America's fastest form of advertising, the most efficient form of advertising, by putting up one billboard in one town, in one state in this country.
There's some studies out there that say the year 2017 was
the year of the billboard?
The only advertising that grew was billboards.
I like how you very generically say there is some study.
I mean, maybe it was Forbes.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Advertising Magazine.
All right, so GoFundMe.com/ Get Our Podcast on a Billboard.
Yes, that's the one.
All right.
Check the show description or our social medias as well.
Also, be sure to participate in this week's web poll. Does the rain stick make noise? Or make music, or just noise?
Yeah, this is a big deal. We all know the rain stick is an important musical device used in music around the world.
No, it's not. It's a stick that has marbles in it. So, vote now, Facebook and Twitter. You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, StephenKyle.com. Follow us on Twitter at StephenKyle. Facebook.com/Steve Kyle. That's where you can take that web poll about the rainstick, the stupidest invention on Earth.
See, now you're turning it sideways, Steve.
And look at the time. Talk to you next week.
I'm going to win a poll. I promise you someday.